Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm so happy you're here. Grant is currently under the weather, so it's just me today. Because it's just me, we're gonna have some one-on-one girl talk. On Instagram, I asked you guys to send me your girl talk questions. If you want to be a participant in this in the future or have questions that you wanna ask, follow us on Instagram, King and Queen of Country Swing. Okie doke, let's get started. Okay, people are asking, how do you curl your hair? Because that was one of the options that I gave people for this YouTube video, was a makeup tutorial, a hair tutorial, like how I curl my hair, or a girl talk Q&A. And some of you guys wanted to know still how I curl my hair, which is a great question, but that is not what this video is about. But I can tell you, I will do a hair tutorial. Long story short, I've done a lot of things that just don't work for me. I use a wand. If you're lucky, next time my hair won't already be curled, and I will just combine this video into me curling my hair and us chatting. Someone asked, how do you stay so positive and energetic? You guys, let me tell you, you only see like 5% of our lives on social media. I am not happy and positive all the time, although it is part of my natural disposition. I definitely have very down days, or days where I am so tired from work that I'm just like exhausted and I just want to chill on my couch and eat some ice cream. So I am not always positive and energetic, but I think some people are just naturally have that disposition. However, I do think you can increase your ability to find positivity and be energetic by searching for the blessings in your life, tender mercies, just being grateful for and practicing that gratitude, right? There's a lot to be grateful for. And during some of the hardest times of my life, I have kept a gratitude journal. In fact, I used to start every journal entry with, my tender mercy today was, and then just like very first thing, say something that was a blessing for me. And so I think that helps me remember what is most important in life and keep me more like big picture than get sucked in to the nitty gritty all the time. Fun date night ideas. Okay. Boyfriend and I have a strict budget and need some ideas. Let me tell you what Grant and I recently found. If you are in Utah County, okay, this is for you. There is this app, it's called Mutual Dates, not to be confused with the dating app Mutual. And what it is it's an app with discounted prices for two people at locations around Utah County. So for those who are familiar, like, classic skating, there's a deal for that. There's a deal for like Roll Up Crepe Cafe in Orem, which is one of my favorite places to go. We went there the other day. We got 2 savory crepes, 1 sweet crepe, and we exchanged the 2 sodas for 1 Nutella shake. So good, you guys. We got all of that for $20, the 2 of us. I was like, this is the best. And here's the thing, the app is free. So you can download it and you get the discounts. Grant and I actually have a code, Country5, and it will give you $5 credit. So you already get $5 off when you apply our code. But yeah, it's called Mutual Dates, and it's just discounted dates that are only applicable to this app. And it makes dating so easy. It keeps the spark alive, you know what I mean? Advice for communicating your feelings without emotional outbursts. That is one thing that I really value about mine and Grant's relationship, is when we disagree, we don't yell at each other. I know everybody's personality is different, but being able to have a level-headed, logical conversation, even when I get emotional or if he gets emotional, like being able to understand that we can discuss things rationally was really important to me going into a relationship. If you can't communicate and figure things out, work things out at a rational level without getting like yelly and name calling and things like that, it may be something to be aware of that could be a red flag. Again, everybody's personality is different, but for me, I do not bode well if someone starts yelling at me. So in return, I know that if I start yelling at someone else, like my partner at Grant, it's probably not going to be a very constructive conversation. So when there are moments where we are so frustrated at each other that we cannot even logically come to earth and like humble ourselves, we just take a step back. And it may take an hour, it may take a couple hours, but eventually we will come back and we will be able to say, you know what, I recognize how you are feeling. This is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And just being able to converse and talk it through without placing blame and without name calling. I don't think there's ever a time or a place for name calling. I don't think it is ever constructive. It's always destructive, and that is never going to enhance your relationship. It's never going to make it better. And we're better than that. We're all better than that. This question is, your favorite outfit for swing dancing? Okay, I will always go for dark shirts, dark t-shirts. So black is my go-to, or gray. I always wear long pants because I don't want my skin to get ripped as I am doing lifts with Grant. I don't want it ever to like tear. Sometimes when we do lifts, like in my armpits, I'll get blood blisters. It'll look like I have a razor burn and it hurts really bad. I don't want that on my legs either. So I wear pants to protect them, and I wear my cowboy boots with leather soles because they're easier to spin on the dance floor. So that is my typical country dance look. It's nothing fancy, but I feel comfortable, I can move. I feel like I can do any of our lifts in those clothes. How do you do your makeup? Well, let me tell you. No, I actually have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to makeup. I have makeup artist friends that I'm trying to convince to teach me. Jen, I'm looking at you. But I am more than happy to do a makeup tutorial on what I already do, or maybe not a tutorial, but just like my makeup routine. I don't like a lot of foundation, and I don't like a lot of unnecessary makeup steps. So if you want that makeup routine, please comment below, let me know, because I'm not gonna make it if you guys don't want it. How do you learn to trust a guy? I'm always scared that I'm going to get dropped. I'm assuming here that you are asking about trusting a guy while dancing. Yeah, don't trust anybody. Spotters are good. If you don't know the person that you're being paired up with very well, always have spotters, and not just like randos that don't know how to spot. Like, look around, watch people who already are spotting and actually are good at their job, because too often people will spot, but they will not spot you in the moment you really need them to. And it just comes. Grant and I did not just, well, I was gonna say we didn't just like jump in to hard lifts together, but you know, we kind of did. So, but it took a bit. I had spotters that I trusted already there. I had already been doing lifts pretty confidently with other partners, and I had seen Grant doing lifts with my friends. Very stable. I already knew he could do them. So when it came to me, I trusted him a lot more because I'd seen him. He was already experienced, right? I would not just trust anybody. Grow with them, right? Start small. Do not jump into things unless you know that they are experienced and they got you. There's no rush. Your well-being is way more important than doing a cool trick that's gonna end up in you getting a concussion. So be careful. Choose your partners wisely. Do small stuff in the beginning with spotters, and if they can handle that, graduate to no spotters with those small things, and then graduate to a little bit harder with spotters, right? And then keep going. How to get past a relationship that was long and close to marriage 4 years later and still struggling. That's so hard. Some of you may or may not know, I've shared it a couple times over the last few years, but not often. I was in a relationship, it was like a 4-year relationship where we were gonna get married. Like, I was gonna get married to this guy, and he's so great, still like such a great person. When I say we broke up, Like, our breakup was the best breakup to ever exist in the history of breakups. I'm not lying. However, that did not make it easy. We just grew apart as people, and our personalities just weren't quite meshing anymore, and that's okay. It happens. But it's hard. It's hard when you see your life going one way and you've pictured it and envisioned it for so long, for it to all of a sudden be taken away or just be black, right? That's how I describe it a lot, is that it just goes black. And meaning I could not see my future anymore. Before, with him, I could see a future. I could see how our families would get along. I could see like where we would live, and like just all the things. We're gonna go to school, and then for it to just be like, okay, that is no longer my reality, is hard. It's like starting over. It's like starting from scratch in some ways. The best advice I could offer is, hopefully you've cut it off, like you're not really talking anymore. And that sounds harsh, right? It sounds harsh to be like, cut them out of your life. But the best way to get over someone is to no longer have contact with them. It helps you move on quicker. Clean break, right? It's a clean break for a reason, and it will help you in your healing process. Now, for a few years, there were times later that I wondered, did I make the right choice in breaking up with him? We'd been together for so long, we knew each other so well, like we just worked in a lot of ways, but there were those things that ended up pushing us apart, you know? And those are the things I had to remember, you know, there's a reason why we didn't work out, or multiple that we broke up. But it's so easy to get in your head about it and be like, well, like I could have been happy. We could have been married already. We could have done this and this and this. And maybe I missed the boat. Here's the thing. You didn't miss anything. If I hadn't broken up with him, I would not have met Grant. And it's so easy now for me to be like, there's someone there for you. There's someone waiting. I don't know what your life is like. I didn't know what my life was going to be like, but I know at the time I decided to focus not on getting married or finding someone, but being the best person I could be and the best version of myself that I could be, and becoming the person my Heavenly Father needs me to be. So once I started focusing on becoming the person Heavenly Father needs me to be, that is when I found Grant. And I'm grateful. Oh, I'm so grateful, because I couldn't imagine my life without him. And my life is so much richer because I took that step of faith. Even though it was comfortable with that other guy, it wasn't what I needed. I needed to be pushed. I needed to experience university, you know, and I got to do all of those things and also meet Grant. So there's no one answer fits all, but hopefully that helps. Guys, laser hair removal. So many of you, how's laser hair removal going? I lied to you. Okay, I didn't lie, but it hurts, okay? I thought, well, the first couple sessions are fine. It gets worse. And I every time I'm like, okay, we got this. But don't let me scare you, because is it worth it? 1000%. So every time I go, I'm always like, you know what? I know how much this cost, and I've committed, so we're doing it, and it's great. It's been great. I would do it again. In fact, part of me is like, man, I should have done this and I should have done that. Anyway, so Milan Laser Hair Removal is where I'm getting mine done. They have locations all over the United States. I have a whole video about my laser hair removal experiences thus far. I'd only done 2 or 3 sessions by the time I'd done that video, so I did not understand fully. But I do have a YouTube video if you want to know more about it. Yeah, I have a code, Shalee T250. So if you go to a Milan center, wherever they're located in your state, and you give them my discount code, they will automatically knock $250 off of your sessions. And I would watch, because they have monthly campaigns, and it's the only thing they do, which also gives me a lot of comfort. This is gonna be my last question, but we get this one a lot, and I love this question. It's just a little more complex than people realize, but how did you know Grant was the right one for you? This is a lot, but I'm going to give you a short answer today, and maybe I'll expound on it in a different YouTube video. Let me know if I should. Let me know in the comments. But I knew Grant was the one for me by dating a lot of people who weren't the one for me. That's like a really short way of saying it, right? You're like, that doesn't help me. Maybe you are in a relationship and you're like, I don't know if this is the person. Okay, we're gonna get real. This is like real girl talk. I knew that I wanted to marry Grant when we were dating because I felt comfortable with him. He never pressured me. He pressured me enough to get me out of my comfort zone, but he never pressured me into something that I wasn't ready for. A lot of people don't know this, but we didn't have our first kiss until like 10 dates in. But I had just gotten out of, a couple months prior, had gotten out of a really difficult relationship, a bit of a toxic one that was mentally really challenging for me. I wasn't looking to get married. I wasn't looking to date. I was trying to be the best person I could be, and I knew Grant was the one for me because he was the first person in all of my relationships that when he said, I love you for the first time, I was excited. All the other times, I was scared. I didn't know if I was in love, or even if I was, it was such a different form of love than my love for Grant now and then. And so when he told me that he loved me, I did not say it to him that same night, but I was so excited about it. And that was like a huge difference for me. I wasn't afraid, and I wasn't stressed out, and I knew he was the one for me because I realized I wanted to get married to him. I wanted a life with him and only him, and that doesn't mean that we don't have trials, but life is better doing those trials together than separately. So in a roundabout way, I hope I answered your guys' questions. If you like videos like this, please let me know, because it takes a lot of courage for me to get on here by myself. We're our own worst critic, so it's hard, but I would love to have more like one-on-one conversations with you guys. And this doesn't, just because it says girl talk does not mean it's isolated to girls. If guys have questions about their girls, like, let's talk about it. I'm all for it. So thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we post again next. And as always, keep dancing.